This is Twit.
The Wall Street Journal reports BlackBerry's special committee of board members has decided to hurry up the process pursuing the sale of the company. They want to do a fast auction process with a sale completed as early as November. The Journal sources say BlackBerry has narrowed its list of candidates and will begin that sales process very soon.
Hey guys, Lenovo is launching a bunch of stuff. The company's new smartphone called the Vibe X has a 6.9 millimeter slim frame. That's very slim, and a weight of just 4.2 ounces, plus a 13 megapixel rear cam, 5 megapixel front cam, curved display, and an HD screen. Lenovo also announced the Yoga 2 Pro, 10% lighter than previous models. It can go into 4 different modes with a higher resolution screen. Starts at just over $1,000. Then there's the ThinkPad Yoga, which will have a 360-degree rotation and a lift and lock keyboard that sits flush on surfaces with keys locked into place in multiple modes, starting around $949. But that's not all. Lenovo also announced the Flex line, 2 laptops that can swap modes to be a stand or laptop. That line starts at $629.
The Apple of China, Xiaomi, introduced a new Android-powered smartphone and television. The phone is the Mi3 and features a 5-inch 1080p touchscreen powered by a Tegra 4 or a Snapdragon 800, depending on which Chinese carrier you're on. The phones launch in mid-October and will range in price from about $330 to $410. The 47-inch television is called the Xiaomi TV, and it will be assembled by Wistron, which is the company that makes TVs for Sony. The TV will run Android and have 2 gigabytes of RAM, 8 gigabytes of storage, and be powered by a Snapdragon 600 processor. It's priced at around $490 and launches in mid-October.
A U.S. federal jury in Seattle has ordered Google's Motorola Mobility to pay Microsoft $14.5 million U.S. in damages for failing to license on reasonable terms patents related to the H.264 video codec and 802.11 wireless standards. Motorola sought 2.25% of the product price from Microsoft. The case will have broad effects over what constitutes fair, reasonable, and non-discriminatory, or FRAND, terms in patent licensing in the U.S., and of course, Google intends to appeal.
Frand. I love Frand. At IFA this week, Toshiba has announced the Encore, an 8-inch tablet with a 1280 by 800 resolution screen, and Intel's new Atom Bay Trail CPU running Windows 8.1. The Encore also has a micro HDMI port and a 32 gigabyte hard drive with an expandable micro SD storage option, a 2 megapixel front cam that's apparently optimized for Skype calls, and an 8 megapixel rear camera. It'll be available in November for $330.
Yesterday, either to capitalize on the Samsung Galaxy Gear coverage or to get buried under it, Qualcomm introduced its own smartwatch called the Talk. The Talk tethers to an Android phone via Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and uses Qualcomm's Mirasol display technology, which is kind of like a color e-ink display. Mirasol is also known to sip power compared to something like an LCD. Inside is a 200 megahertz Cortex M3 processor. That's right, 200 megahertz, and will help also save battery life. The Qualcomm Talk will cost around $300 and is targeted for an October 10th release.
Oyster has launched a limited preview of its ebook subscription service. A lot of people call it the Netflix of ebooks. The service lets you read any of more than 100,000 titles for a monthly fee of $9.95 US. The service is only available as an iPhone app in the United States for now. An iPad app is planned for this autumn. The Oyster app can store up to 10 titles at a time for offline reading.
6 consumer privacy groups, the Electronic Privacy Information Center, the Center for Digital Democracy, the Consumer Watchdog, the Patient Privacy Rights, the USPIRG, and the Privacy Rights Clearinghouse have organized a coalition and sent a letter to the Federal Trade Commission asking it to block upcoming changes to Facebook's privacy policies. They say would make it easier for the social network to use personal data about its users, including children under 18, in advertising on the site. The changes are scheduled to go into effect later this week, but the coalition says they violate a 2011 order and settlement with the FTC over user privacy.
If you've been following the IFA conference in Berlin, you may have caught on to this already, but if not, Curved, 4K, or rather UHD, are the new TV buzzwords coming out of IFA. These are often paired with the older buzzword OLED. Sony's only one for 3, though. with its curved 65-inch HD TV that is not OLED, but costs $3,999. So they're missing the huge price as well. Shipping this autumn, Sony's 4K TVs, they do have some, dropped price. The 55-inch XBR 55X900A will sell for $3,999, and the 65-inch XBR 65X900A, love those snappy TV titles, for $5,499. Sony also launched its Video Unlimited 4K service for the Sony FMP X1 4K media player owners, both of you. It has TV shows for $3.99 and films to rent for $7.99 or purchase for $24.99, including the complete Breaking Bad series in 4K once that series is done airing.
I wonder if that was shot in 4K. MailPipe, a crowd-funded email client, found that $45,000 worth of contributions were frozen by PayPal. MailPipe is currently building an email client that lets users control their email and keep it local instead of using something like Google or Microsoft servers. PayPal said it would unfreeze MailPipe's money after 1 year or if there is a verifiable 1.0 release of MailPipe. MailPipe's money could be also unfrozen if it can provide PayPal with an itemized budget and development goal dates.